Sure. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Wait. I'm in my before Christmas. I haven't shaved. I was being Santa today. I don't know if I can record.
we quarantine. We don't even care about that. We just grateful. Mark Pentecost on the line. Special, so special. Man, so I've been here for 7.5 years. And before I dive into it, I just want to say, number one, thank you for even considering. I mean, we know you're super duper busy. It's the holidays. And I know a lot of people don't even ask for this, but I'm grateful. See, I'm the bold one. Listen, the bold one. And of course, you saw I went through the back door and I was like, hey, Breon, ask
Mark. Send Breon into the lion's den.
So we appreciate it. So we're going to start off. A lot of this is about mindset, because what I realize is not really about the work ethic. It's about what's blocking you from getting to the work, and normally that's in the mind. Like, that's what I've seen this entire time. I do have a background in professional counseling, which was, I mean, a blessing to have. But at the end of the day, all I see time after time again is people's belief or their mindset or something that is holding them hostage from truly going to where it is that they desire to go. So a lot of these questions are about mindset, but we would just love to, we know a lot about you from what you've shared, but just this intimate space, we want to know, what was it life like right before Pam introduced you to the wrap, or introduced the product to you? What was life like right before? Like, were you at wit's end? Like, was it a valley? Like, where were you at? What was life like?
You know, that's interesting, because I come from a company. It was actually called Excel Telecommunications. It was out of Dallas, Texas. It was my first networking experience. Really cool company, great people. Our product was long distance usage with a wall phone. There weren't cell phones yet. It was the mid 90s. And, you know, we just didn't have good vision. And when cell phones came, we didn't have another product. And there were other big companies back then, WorldCom, AT&T, and almost all of them went bankrupt, and Excel did. And so, you know, I thought I was going to do that my whole life. I was having the time of my life. I was making more a month than in 2 years of teaching. And so I'm like, every month I'd say, honey, this is 2 years of our life. This is awesome. We were paying off all our debt. We were so excited. And then it went away. And we never thought it would go away. So I had told, he happened to be the football coach. And if you've ever read the books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he was the rich dad to me. He taught me how to be an entrepreneur. I got a great dad, but he worked at GM. He worked on the factory line. And so I didn't know you could be an entrepreneur. And I went to college to be a teacher. I was the first one to graduate from college in our family. And so I thought I'd teach all my life, but I had a hunger for more. You know, the girls would come home and say, Dad, you know, so-and-so at school doesn't have a winter coat. We lived in Michigan. Can we buy them one? And I'm like, sure, babe. But inside I'm thinking, I can hardly afford my kids. So I had a hunger for more. And so Excel filled that. I was so excited. I love the industry. But when it went away, I told this guy that had taught me these things, I said, if I do this again, I'm going to own the company. I'm not going to let someone else's decision wreck my future. And he said, when you do, I'll be right there beside you. So I tell that because we were already dreaming and positioning for It Works. And when Pam came and said, hey, she knew me from Excel days. She knew we were top 10. And she said, I've got a product I think you would really like. And when Cindy tried it, had great success, she got all excited and she called her best friend to tell her. Her best friend said, you got to get me some. And I'm like, Now, as a coach, I wasn't thinking my product was going to be a wrap for ladies. So I had to rethink that a little bit. And that was our only product for quite a few years. And, but my good friend, that was the football coach that had said, he goes, you said, if you're going to do this again, you start your own company. And I was like, well, yeah, I didn't mean right now. And so him and I put up all the money, and he wrote a check. And then I said, all right, I did say that. So him and I and one other guy started It Works. And then Pam came in, showed us the wrap. And she was working with a group, and they were going to call their company like Mass Reduction marketing or something like that, something mass reduction, lose all this weight. And it was too complicated for me. So I said, well, we got a company we're working on called It Works. And it was really cool because when you first tried the wrap, I tell Brian, it's like, you can't get away from coaching. It's like you're counting 3 seconds in the lane. Somebody would try it and you just wait and say, what do you think? You'd wait 3 seconds and they'd go, this works. And so then we start teasing and saying, well, of course it works. Or we'd have to name the company It Doesn't Work. So we had a lot of fun. And so, that's a great question. And when you asked me that, I was kind of thinking, but actually the message I would give you is we were preparing. We knew we wanted something else. And so we were preparing for that. And so when Pam came and said, what do you think? We weren't like, we've never thought of that. No, stay away. We were like, you know what? We're putting a company together. We got the people, but we don't know what the product's going to be yet. And so the good Lord put in that connection of us meeting. And she was a hard worker. She went to the field, started putting the wrap on people. And I was working to fund and put the company together. And, I had a devotion this week and it was saying about being patient. And I thought we worked hard for almost 10 years before It Works took off. And I don't know if we were just crazy enough not to quit or, I always say when we started our company in Grand Rapids, Summers, what's the girl that used to do the movie Threes? Who? What? Suzanne Summers. She started a new company in Grand Rapids, and Stallone, Sylvester Stallone and his wife, Jennifer Flavin, started their own company at the exact same time. And about a year and a half later, they both shut their companies down. And I went into my group and I said, this is a celebration, man. We made it longer than Suzanne. We made it longer than Rocky. And a lot of you have met Doug Nooney. Doug raised his hand and said, they have a plan B. They can go make movies. We don't have a plan B. So it kind of wrecked my speech, but the exciting thing was we were still there and working hard.
That's so good. So this is just a sidebar. Because you talked about your circle. How important is your circle to you? And how do you pick and choose who you allow to be in your circle? And this includes family, because that's important. Like everything you said, like if you were in the right circle, it would have been over.
That's a great question, Rachel, because I think as I get older, I realize how important your community is, how important the people closest to you. Here's something most people don't know. When we started the company, Pam came to me with 4 people. There were 4 of them, brought me the wrap. And I had 3. And today there's just Pam and I. Wow. So we started with a company with 7. And there's only 2 today. And so it was having that grit. And, I don't say this to embarrass anyone, but there was a person that had 24% of It Works. I mean, today it would be worth multi-millions, 24%. And he sold it back to me after the first 3 years for $11,000. $11,000. And he just said, it's too hard. I don't see it ever taking off. And I just want the money I put in this out. He did some traveling and stuff. And so now we weren't making a dime. And so he was excited to get his 11,000. And I look back now and go, wow, what a huge blessing that, that I was able to keep going. And now I look back and think, wherever you're at today, no matter where you're at, it doesn't matter if you haven't got to your goal yet. What matters is you're still in the game. You're still in the game. And so, it doesn't matter if it takes a few years or a lot of years. What matters is you stay until you get there. And truly, I just heard us talk on this. You can be one call from a miracle. I mean, you don't know when that next call is coming, but that next call could be the next Black Diamond if It Works. And you just sponsored them. And so, there's a reason I don't usually this time of night. Kinsey usually wears Rock and Roll Kiss, but I don't always wear winning at night this late. But this is our word, and we're going to unveil it on the 29th. But I truly, truly believe 2020 has been so tough. And, you know, there's just not a clear answer on anything. My parents texted us today and said, we don't feel comfortable being with all the family for Christmas. And they had seen some of us with some people without masks, and some of us had been with this group. And I have to respect that, but it's like, oh, it's killing me. And, you know, people have lost loved ones. They've lost jobs. We lost being able to go to concerts. We lost group stuff. We lost going to auditoriums for sports. Many churches, we lost the ability to have church. And so it was a year of loss. And so we're claiming going into 2021 that it's going to be a winning year. And what is winning? Winning really is just helping other people. As we help, you know, there are probably only a handful of people that can call me and say, will you get on a call tonight or tomorrow night? And I'm like, okay. You know, we're 2 days before Christmas. We got a lot going on. We're like little elves getting ready for the new year. And yet, you know, Brianna and Rachel are both just so special. They got good hearts, and they work hard, and they support their team. And, you know, I was having some health stuff, and Kenzie said, Dad, I'll get on with you. I'll stay up. And she's on Ireland time, which is 5 hours ahead. So it's 2 a.m. over in Ireland. So that she's awake is amazing. So when she said, I'll do it with you, I went, okay, if she's willing to do that, I can do it too. So, and that's what this is about, is one more time, one more call, one more time, meet with your group, one more, you know, that's all things that we can do together.
Thank you. We appreciate it more than you know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what do you do on your worst day that keeps you going? You know, I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to have them light up the comments. And, you know, we are Transformation Nation. So we're humble, open, and transparent here. We are very open. And so I want you just to kind of get a glimpse of the room. I want you guys to drop a 1 in the comments if someone in your immediate family has passed away during COVID. So during COVID, if somebody in your immediate family has passed away, I want you guys to drop a 1 in the comments. So when I tell you, like, almost every single person on my team has been in some way impacted by COVID on a very high level. So not just losing jobs, and drop a 2 in the comments if you've lost multiple people from COVID. Drop a 2 if you've lost multiple people from COVID. So it's been rough. So my question to Mark Pentecost is, on your worst day, what do you do to keep going?
Well, I'll say, and I'll give you a chance on that. So I know, Kenzie, you're working in the office and over there too, but let me say this to you. We all have bad days, and I really believe the devil works hard to separate us and make us think we're the only one going through that. And so a lot of times we isolate ourselves, and COVID has not helped us because we're home alone, and it's so easy just not to, you know, I was going to say make excuses, but I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean it in a way that we continue to isolate ourselves instead of doing the opposite of what we need to do. On a bad day is when we need our community. On a bad day, it's like going to the gym. You know, when you have a workout partner, because there's times you just don't feel like working out. Like, really, I am not working out today. And your workout partner shames you. They're like, oh yeah, well, how about that 10 pounds you and I agreed to lose? Or how about we're going to get in better shape? And you're like, okay, I don't feel like it, but I'll go because of you. And then there's days that your partner needs you. They have a bad day and you're like, hey, remember when I was so terrible? And come on, you're coming. I don't care if I have to drive over and pick you up, we're going. So I think number one is identifying, you can't be on the mountaintop all the time. There are valleys, you have tough times, and it's identifying, you know what, this might be one of those days. And I'm going to give myself whatever you need. You know, maybe it's having that, for me, it's dark chocolate. I can't help it. I love my chocolate. And so it might be, you know what, I'm having chocolate today. Or it might be, you know what, I'm taking 10 minutes in front of the mirror and I'm just going to complain like, Mark, you have it so bad. Your kids aren't helping you. Your wife, you know, she's not making breakfast and encouraging. And so I have that pity party. You know, I got a new dog, a puppy, a COVID puppy. So I talked to the puppy, but then it's like, okay, that's over. You know, some people say write an email and then rip it up, or write a letter, rip it up, don't rip up your computer. And then you go on. So, you know, the best thing I can say there is I know that you're not the only one that has bad days, and it's all part of it, but make sure you got the support group to help pull you out of it, because, you know, the valleys is where things grow. But, you know, I love some of those songs where it says, you might be in the valley, but don't stay there long, you know, get to the mountaintop. So
I love that. And, you know, right now I'm reading a book called I Declare War. And I feel like right now, like I'm super excited. We are declaring 2021 winning. And even though we don't necessarily see circumstances changing right this minute, but we have to declare war on our life. Like we are going to change our lives. We are going to believe that 2021, we will win despite our circumstances. Like I was overwhelmed to see the ones and twos in the comments, you know, and just like, you know, I think a lot of times we look at the real of life, but we've been through it ourselves as a family. And I think, you know, I know for 2020, I declared war and said, I'm doing this, you know, and so I can't keep up with what Mark expects out of us as kids, with what we read. It's not just about who you surround yourself, it's what you put in your mind. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Even what you see on social media. I mean, it's crazy right now. And so making sure you give yourself a timeout from media, from everything, to get your priorities straight and say, this is what I'm going to do today, because this is how I want my life to turn out. And I can say that when you say, Rachel, what was your life like? Like I can go back to that. We, you know, when people say, what's it like growing up with money? I'm like, I don't know. We didn't have money growing up. What, you know? And so, but I know my dad is crazy. He was going to win. And so I get so excited because I think this is time where we're going to declare war and we're going to win. And so I'm excited.
Yes. Oh, good.
And I'm wearing this because this was my dad's first concert.
Was it? It's pretty cool.
I just turned 18 and went to my first concert in life. And that's hilarious. My mom would have shot me. She would still shoot me today.
That's so funny. Well, that is so good. That just spoke to my heart. So you just got to fight, just period. You just got to fight. Like, it's just.
Well, and I truly believe that. I think I don't know if Brian's on now, but I know he coaches like I do. But one of the young men on Landon's team, he's a young kid. He's on the basketball team, and he's an 8th grader. He's like 6'4", and he played football, and the school never had a winning team. And the quarterback got hurt. He got put in, and he gets like 6 touchdowns, 500 yards. And USA Today writes an article on him. So this kid's on top of the world, and they went undefeated, made the playoffs for the first time. So he goes out for the basketball team. He's on the JV team, and I can't help but coach. So I pulled him over last week, and I said, Xander, you're a really good player, but you get caught watching. You got to quit watching. You're playing. Don't watch. I said, if I see you watching in the game tomorrow, I'm going to order popcorn and send it out to you. And, he was laughing, and the coach was laughing at me. Well, I'm driving home Monday, and I get a call. His dad's, I don't know how old his dad is. This kid's an 8th grader. And his dad, they thought I had pneumonia, ended up being COVID, and he died. And I'm thinking, here's a young man that I'm talking how to be a better basketball player, and he loses his dad a few days before Christmas. And I'm thinking, how many of us have these stories of lost someone or lost two? And, I don't know if it's getting older or what. I'm usually not too emotional person, but it really hit me hard that I thought it sure didn't matter if he was watching the game. in life right now. It mattered that this young man, I can't even imagine that. And I know it's happening all over. So I think we got to declare it's winning time, and we got to get, it's happening. But I think all of us, winning for us is going to be helping more people be able to work from home. More people have community. What you've got right now is special. You're not at home by yourself going, no one cares about me, no one supports me. You've got tremendous leaders here and a group that truly loves you. So I think that's a big part.
I agree. So what's his name?
Xander. Yep.
Add into our prayer list.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so that actually is that was a good segue to my fifth question, asking how would you coach a player that's fallen off? It's kind of different because his dad passed away. But how would you coach a player that's fallen off, but says they want to get back in the game?
Great question.
And when I say falling off, like they're saying I want to get back in the game, but it's almost like now they're fearful of getting back in the game.
Yep. You want
Well,
deal with that in Europe all the time with there's a huge French group in France, and they've rebuilt like 3 times. But what?
Yeah, and really, when people fall off, they've got to be around people that believe. Honestly, it's contagious. As long, I feel like, there's preacher kids, and then there's network marketing kids, and I'm a network marketing kid. So I've watched cycles, and I've watched people leave, come back, leave, come back. I love that Dad told the story tonight of those other people that were there and gave up. They gave up. They sold out. Now they look, those people's kids message us like, if my dad only believed. And you're like, man. And so I think the number one thing is that they have to believe. And if they don't, then you need to surround them with the people on your team and your community that have the strongest belief that it'll rub off on them. Because I can watch, I'll sit in a cab, this is a true story, with 3 distributors. And this guy got blitzed by like 2. He said, nope. But then one came in and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna let you say no. And he joined, and he was super successful. And so when you believe and people join you. When you don't believe, they feel that and they're like, no, thanks. So you either got to believe or you got to get them around someone, and they will come back and they will be successful. But that to me is what I see as the only way it's going to work.
I like that. That's really good. And, I would add to that, if you're working with someone, and it happens so much in life, they get overwhelmed or they get down. And so they just kind of fade away. They really don't even have a day where they say, I quit. They just, it's like they got a cold, and then it turns into pneumonia, and then they're gone. And so one of the things I say is, look, definition of insanity is to do the same thing expecting a different result. So what are we going to do different this time? I think getting in community is a real big one, and working together. And then I say, we've got to put an action plan together, because we got to do something different. When I was coaching, and if we were in a losing streak, I didn't say, let's keep doing the same thing. I said, okay, we're going to run a different play today. We're going to do something different. And it can be the way we talk to people. It can be the way we initiate. Now we got so much online and social media. Golly, Bill, I see so many people that are super shy that in the old days, they had to go out and talk to someone, where today they don't have to. They're on social media and they're talking through conversations there, and they feel like they'd be more bold. And so whatever your personality is, I think it's really important to put an action plan, because the key to success, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it can happen for everyone as long as you stay in the game. And so if I'm going to get 1 new customer a week, or this is what I'm going to do to get a team member, and then to help them get a team member. And, again, you're one call. There's a book out there. I got it here somewhere, but I think it's called 3 Foot from Gold. And it's about a guy that was mining a gold mine. And I'll look to be sure. It could be 6 feet from gold, but I think it's 3 foot from gold. But the whole story is, this guy put all his life savings into this gold mine, and they're digging. And he went one more day, and then he quit. and found out he was like 3 foot, 5 foot from gold. And it was one of the biggest strikes out there. And so I always say to people, man, don't quit when you're 3 foot from gold. You know, that next person could be, and you know, you're just trying to find yourself. I can't see without my glasses.
It's 3 foot.
I was in the ballpark. It was 3 foot from gold. So, you know, I think books, I think stories are good for us when we're down or you need encouragement to go, because almost every great success story wasn't just, I started today and I was highly successful. It was a journey, and it was people wanting to quit because they were 3 foot from gold. And, you know, I think in my own career, there was a couple times where I just was so tired, overwhelmed. And what I needed was a timeout. I just need to get my timeout, refresh, and then get back in the game. And, you know, I think somebody was asking me to, I'll be patient, let you ask. I saw a question you're going to ask that I really thought was a good one. You asked me before, what would I do if I was in the field today? You remember that?
Yeah, there we go on to the question. There it goes. If you were in the field, what would you be doing right now? Go ahead.
You know, here I would say one of my strengths wasn't always being the fastest, jump the highest, be the quickest. My strength was to keep trying new things, to keep reinventing myself. And, you know, when I was in the field, you literally had parties at home and you talked to people one-on-one. I mean, when I was frustrated, today with COVID, we can't do it. So I'm going to turn it in just a second, what I do today. But back then, I'd go to a coffee shop and get coffee. I'd just start talking to someone there. One time, you know, like I said, sometimes the devil likes to get us by ourselves and think, you know, I was like, I'll never meet another person again in my life. I'm never going to sponsor someone again. And then I'd meet someone at such a random, standing in line at the supermarket and sponsor them, and it changed. Or a realtor that was like, I'm tired of selling houses. You know, every time I sell a house, I get paid, but then I'm unemployed. I got to go sell another house. And so I would tell them about residual income. Well, what if you made a sell and you keep making pay? So, you know, I was always, one time I was at a stop sign and somebody had put a poster on the telephone post that said, work from home, call this number. So I called the number, and the guy was in a networking company, and that's how he got people wanting a job. He'd tell them about their business. So I sponsored him, and he showed me what he did, and I used that for a while. So I'm always looking to reinvent myself. So today, you know, with COVID, I would really use on social the ability to work from home, the ability that in your own home, you don't have to wear a mask, and you can talk to people and encourage them. And, you know, hosted post was a great way. I really like that our team come up with hosted post and working together. Makes me laugh that a lot of people are recruiting off the reels. It's like TikTok, but reels. I just laugh at some of these. I saw Kelsey Thornton the other day had one about, she was looking like she was exhausted, and her thing was, when you tell your husband you don't want a gift for Christmas and he doesn't get you a gift for Christmas. And I just thought that was hilarious, because as a guy, I think how many times has Cindy said, I really don't want anything. And I almost believed she didn't want anything, but she's just telling me that to be humble, but she wants something. So, you know, I think they use humor on reels to just start conversations. And once you start conversations, you find out something about people, and then all of a sudden they're asking you, and through conversation, you're like, I got this business, I started a hobby, and now, wow, it's turned to full time. And so if I was starting today, I would find, I'd keep reinventing myself. Whenever I was on a great run, I didn't just stop. I was looking, because I knew when I was on a run that the ability of my team is as to keep adding new people. And it's like fresh water. If you don't have a river with fresh water, then it's a pond and it gets smelly. So you don't want stagnant. You want growth. And so I was always looking, and back then I would say I was looking for me. I was a teacher that was frustrated that I couldn't make more money. I loved working with people. I loved helping people, but I wanted no ceiling. I wanted that somebody wasn't going to say, Mark, this is what you're worth. This is all you can make. I wanted to make more. And so, the neat thing is every one of you here has a CEO that wants to pay you more. And so if you go work and you bring in more people, more sales, I will write as big a check as you want. And happily, I'll do it with a smile on my face. And so I would just keep always looking to reinvent yourself. Look, watch what other people are doing. Be a student that, when I was coaching, I never thought I knew it all. I was always looking for the next play. And I think you do that in business. You're just, I watch our company, I watch other companies. I see what they're doing, what works. I like our sample program right now. We're about to come out with the magazine that I'm really excited about. It's going to highlight so many people and be able to send that. And, maybe there's a part about a nurse or a social worker. What'd you say your major was, Rachel?
Professional counseling.
Maybe you meet a counselor there and you're like, oh, that's what I used to do. Man, aren't you tired when this happens or this happens? And they're like, yeah, what'd you do? And like, well, let me show you. So, with the magazine, if you meet someone that was a teacher, you'll be able to point to whoever was the teacher that has a success story. And if it was somebody that is a homemaker with 3, 4, or 5 kids and saying they wanted to, it's amazing when I see the stories from a lot of our team of, somebody's got a family of 3 or 4, and yet they're the main breadwinner in that family. And people just assume because they're at home with the kids that they can't be. And they're like, what? I am the breadwinner of this family. So, I think it's finding people like yourselves and letting them find success with it.
That is so good. So I got to tell you about this before I forget. So when you were talking about belief, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a movie. It's called Jingle Jangle. It's on Disney Plus. Huh. So you guys got to watch it. I don't know. When you when you have some family time, it's crazy. Like you could not, I'm not going to even tell you because I'm not going to ruin it for you. Just look it up. Look it up, tell Skylar. She's probably, I don't know. It's a great movie, but it's going to talk about what you just talked about. And you're going to be like, wow. Like, I can't tell you because I want to tell you right now, but I'm not going to ruin it. Okay.
Thank you.
So, but you guys got to watch it. Like I got to watch it. Mm-hmm. What would you tell someone who's struggling to overcome their own self-limiting beliefs? So this whole, actually, I see this more than ever. The whole, it can happen for you, but not for me. I believe for you, but I don't believe for you, for me. It all the time. So what would you tell somebody like that? Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to interject. So even for me, like I'm in this place, I'm really believing God that Black Diamond is mine. Like I've been saying it for years, like years. They know we are a Black Diamond team. We've been claiming it. But there may be still some self-limiting beliefs that are in my head that are truly blocking me from walking into that. So what would you say to me?
First of all, I would say you're the normal. And I don't mean you're normal because you're not normal. Rayon would say amen to that one. Rachel is not normal. But I would say it's more the norm that we're all broken in some way. There's not, if you think you walk up and I say, Kinsey, I'm signing you up. And she goes, great, I've been looking for this. Tomorrow I'll be diamond. And by end of the week, double diamond. And then I'll be ambassador. It's like social Instagram right now. You're seeing everyone's best look all the time. I'm looking at these people going, how do they look like that all the time? And here I am a little gruff tonight. I'm wearing my hat. But I would tell you, that is the norm. We're all broken. And the greatest thing about our industry is we get to believe in people before they believe in themselves. And so we're letting them borrow our belief in them. And Rachel, I would say to you, Cammie right away saw something really special in you. And she came to me and said, oh, you got to meet this Rachel. And And she saw in you then leadership qualities. She saw the hunger, never quit attitude. And so I think for almost, I can't think of a leader, one of our top leaders, that didn't start out wondering, could they really do this? Or they didn't start out saying, I know I'm made for this. But it is so cool. It's one of the coolest things of our job when the light comes on and they believe in themselves. You know, it's like, you know, sorry, you got a coach. So I go back to coach quite a bit, and Breon Light, we love talking about the coaching days. But when you see the light come on with a player, you've been on them, they're not working hard enough in practice, they don't believe in themselves. And then all of a sudden the light comes on and they're winning the game, and now all the cheerleaders are around them and they're celebrating, and they look over and you just kind of go, I told you it'd be worth it. And so I really feel like that's what we get to do, is find talent, get their belief level up, and inspire. And I think a lot of times they borrow our belief level until they have their own. And so, you know, my biggest answer is that you're not alone. If you feel like that, that's normal. You know, you're on the right path. Good job. You said yes to this, you're in the game, and we're going to work together to find those people for you. And with yours, Rachel, you know, that's what I'd say the same thing is, look where you're at, look what you created. I remember when you're going for some, the promotions here not too long ago, and Breon's texted me how close you are, and Cammie's texted me, she's this close, she's almost there. I mean, you had your whole cheerleading squad, and I'm sure you were exhausted that day or that week or right before the end of the month, and yet nobody can ever take that away. You accomplished that. You did that. And to be successful, you had to help a lot of other people be successful, and that's one of the great things we get to do.
Good. It's such a blessing. I appreciate that. That was so kind. So kind. Yes. So kind. I'm going to leave it there so I don't get emotional. That was so great. Thank you, guys. Okay. So let's see where we are since we're jumping around here. Favorite book of 2020. What's your favorite book? I think it's so funny, like fun fact for everybody. When I went into Mark's house, and all the places, I was taking pictures of all their books. Like here I am with my camera, like, and take a picture of that and that. So I love to know, like, what was your favorite book of 2020?
You know, that's really hard for me to answer. Kenzie, let me step there for a minute. This is right next to my desk right now.
Oh, Jesus.
These are all great books I can't wait to read. And I've probably got 6 or 7 down at my office right now. And so when you ask me that, it's hard for me to answer that because I love reading, and problem, I don't have enough time now. And also it's hard for me to concentrate very long because I get so excited. But, you know, just to give you, here's a book called Exceptional. This was how I built this. And it was a guy that did a business. I actually bought 2 for my girls. This was called Undaunted, and Overcoming Doubts and Doubters. And I know, you know, we got to empower our women and our girls that are growing up. And this one, you've actually heard Cammie talk about it. Kenzie, I don't think, got through this one yet, but this one was unapologetically ambitious. And this is a lady that was a CEO, and take risks, break barriers, and create success in your own terms. And so, you know, the girls haven't told me which ones yet are their favorite, but, you know, I think the key is to keep looking at books. And sometimes I only get 1 line or 2 lines. Sometimes I get a whole chapter that I'm just so fired up. And, you know, here's Think Outside the Building. That caught me because we're always saying think outside the box. So I loved it. Someone said, and perfect time of COVID. You know, I got over 200 employees working from home. And so, you know, that one was so good. And so I just picked those up to let you know I'm always looking. And once in a while I get a dud and I'm thinking, I can't get past 2 chapters. It's just kind of boring. And then other times I just get really surprised and I'm like, man, this, and the kids hear about it. This was the greatest thing. You guys got to read this. And then books show up at their doorstep. So I can't tell you a favorite, but I can tell you this year, I really picked up at different times key things. And, the good Lord just, I don't know why this surprises me after all these years, but Cindy and I were, there's a guy we've really been enjoying online. We started in March, and I think we've watched him every Sunday now, and we just really enjoy him. And last week, Saturday night, Cindy said, "Oh boy, I can't wait for church tomorrow. It's just been a long week. We're still doing it at home." And his sermon was called "Born to Win," and we went, we've already got what we're working at conference, doing things, and he was given scriptures. How God made all of us to be overcomers, to win. And he was given the scripture, and Cindy's working on a devotion at conference. And I saw her over there and I just was listening going, wow, what a affirmation that was such a good win for us right now, that God made us born to win. We're supposed to win. And he knows in the end, we all win. And so we just got to keep in until that win happens. Here, Kinsey, I'm sorry. Let me sit there.
That's so good.
Block her. But I just thought this would be like an exclamation mark when you say, what's your favorite?
That is. I have to send a picture of that stack to Bria so we can see it. What about you, Kinsey? What's your best? And congratulations, by the way, on your book.
Thank you.
What would you say?
I should have answered. My favorite book,
of course,
is
yes.
a new cooking book. I'm learning to cook.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, we're from a family where, we worked jobs since we were 15, 16 years old. And if we wanted anything extra, my dad would say, read a book, and then he'd quiz us. And then I'm like, can I get that money? He's like, did you read the book? I'm like, no. He's like, go read the book. I'm like, okay. So we read a lot of books on this side, but I'd say right now, I'm just getting repeated themes about hurry and just slowing down and really taking time to do your dream board. And really, I'd say my number one is I declare war. It's just getting your mental state right and feeding yourself what you need to feed yourself. So
that'll be my next read. Thank you guys. That was great. I do. I would say when I first started this business, I really didn't read like that, but now it's like you guys teach us to finesse our mind. All right, so I got a fun thing before you leave, and I want both of you guys to answer. It's just a this or that. It's like 6 or 7 of them, just to do something really fun. And so both of you guys can tell us which one it is for you. Okay, you ready?
All right.
I'm ready.
Keto coffee or skinny brew?
Keto coffee.
It is skinny brew for me, but on weekends I have keto coffee. So I do 5 days of skinny brew, and I do the intermittent fasting. I get up in the morning, have my coffee, and I don't eat till lunch. And then on weekends, I do the keto coffee. I love them both.
Ways. Why keto coffee on the weekends?
Because I like the cream in it. It's like dessert to me.
So you drink your skinny brew black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I take it just like it comes out of the package.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I love that. All right. So greens or reds?
Greens.
I would have always said greens, but I do reds now. With immunity, because of the elderberry in it, I do the reds. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing.
Oh.
Because I'm like good at this game. I think I'm winning. Like, well, it's called this or that.
That.
Okay. Island or the ranch?
Island.
People ask me that all the time, and that's a tough one. Well, I didn't know it's a race.
I'm winning.
So I'm supposed to go fast?
Yes.
First thing that comes to mind.
Oh, okay. Yes. I love the ranch and the island.
I feel like yours is ranch for sure.
Okay, ranch.
Like you can only spend life at one or the other. Where would you go? Quick.
I like being Jimmy Buffett, but I like being a cowboy too.
Can I go to my place?
All right, I'll be better on this one. Here we go.
Okay.
B. Oh, you haven't asked it yet. All right.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Yes, I knew it. And the only reason I know that is
we hate mornings. We don't do mornings. We like nights.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But also, look where we live. We're on the West Coast, so the sun setting over the ocean is just beautiful.
I had a feeling you guys were going to say sunset. Like, you guys taught us so much about family when we came to the island, and how we would go. You wanted everybody to come and watch the sun. That was so special.
All right, team. Did you see how Rachel just big timed you guys? She's like, you know, when I was at the island, she just kind of dropped that in like a microphone there. Boom, I've been to the island. I've been to the ranch. Which do you like better, the ranch or the island?
Ooh, see, I'm like you on this one. I've never stayed the night at the ranch, so I would say the island. But I don't sound like you. I don't know. See, I have to come again. So, whenever you want to invite us back, let us know. So
great answer.
All right, conference or green carpet?
Conference is so special. But I would have said old day green carpet.
Yeah.
When we had our very first ones at the golf course and there's like 45 people, those were pretty special.
I'm going to be scandalous here, and I'm going to say green carpet because we throw crazy green carpets in international.
Yeah, you do.
I have to put that on my dream board.
Yeah, you do.
Mark, you gotta level up because you gotta learn from Kinsey.
And you're gonna be Black Diamond because I always invite Black Diamonds over.
Oh, well, I'm coming.
There you go, Rachel.
Yes. Okay. Detroit Pistons or Detroit Lions?
Pistons, bad boys.
Lions.
Bad boys.
Maybe back in the bad boys' day, I would have said Pistons, but nowadays,
Lions haven't won in your whole life.
I know.
Not once.
Call me loyal. Call me loyal.
That is so funny. Okay, last one. Michigan State basketball or Michigan State football?
Izzo and I are good buddies, and his practice facility is called the Pentecost practice facility. So, but hey, I will tell you this, Rachel. I did a Zoom call with Mel Tucker, that's the new head coach, and we started the call, and they wanted me to meet him, and schools are struggling because they can't have fans at the games. And I had met him before, and first 10 minutes, the call's not going great. And I'm tired, and I didn't realize he had just come from practice. And so all of a sudden we're talking about leadership, and he starts telling me he came off the field. One of his top leaders was late to practice. And then there's something they have to do when they're late. And when he turned his head, I mean, these are young men, and he picked up the thing and carried it instead of doing it. And so he took them into the locker room, and he said, you're one of my leaders. Do you call that leadership? And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, I don't want your leadership. I'd rather play with 10 players and not have you on the field than your leadership. And all of a sudden the call went to a whole nother level. And I mean, I was getting excited. I ended up taking like 4 pages of notes. And he had been assistant coach at Georgia. He had been in the SEC at Alabama. He'd been head coach at Colorado. And we started talking in Georgia that they took him on a hog hunt. So we started talking about the ranch. And it's amazing how something can connect you. By end of that call, again, I called Cammie and said, all right, get our leaders on a call. I'm ready for our leadership call, because there was just so many great things. And, things that we know, who you surround yourself with, and how toxic, if a leader isn't leadership from some people can hurt you. They can say they're a leader, but it's toxic. And it gave us permission to say, there are some people on this that you guys shouldn't be listening to. They take all the lifeblood out of you. They suck the energy out of you. And, listening to him, he said, I might be strange, but I like when my back's to the wall and it looks like everything's against me. that's when I come out and perform. And I thought, I like that. And so if you guys have felt like in 2020, your back's to the wall, we're coming out in 2021 and it's time to win. And if you get a chance, look up Mel Tucker. He's a great guy, good leadership. And sometime I'll give you, he had a few more things that just, man, I was ready to jump to the screen and follow him out on the field because he had me so excited. And that's it. It's a process to win. It's a process. You just can't say tonight, all right, I'm going to be ambassador tomorrow. It's a process. You got to start doing steps. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's how you're going to get a customer each week, how you're going to get a new team member. Maybe it's just getting on a call and starting to hang out with some of the people that are on this call and just getting out of a toxic environment that all you're hearing is you can't do that. You're not worthy. You're not made for that. I had all that said to me. I had all that said to me from family. You're in that thing. You own that thing. Now they're like, wow, he owns a lot of things. And, and so we get to give more, help more. And so, man, wherever you're at, if you got the grit there and you got the support, I mean, there's no one else at this time of night that can get me on a call than Rachel.
Hey. Rachel/Breon, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
29th, make sure you're ready for that. We're actually, I haven't been to the office in forever, but we're actually at the office filming that day. And it's not going to be fluff. It's not going to be like, hey, at conference, we're going to give you a bunch of good things, work hard, and it'll be worth it. No, you're going to have bonuses given to you, a brand new product that's off the charts, and it's got things we can say. I'm so excited.
We're dropping clues all over Instagram right now.
Yeah.
You're not watching.
Yeah.
My clue was yesterday, so I'll tell you. We'll take care of your love handles.
Wow, that's not a clue. That's like a, hey, here's something. But we got two things happening 29th. We know New Year, two biggest resolutions. Lose weight, help me with my finances, make more money. And we're gonna arm you so that you can have conversations with everybody. If you say to someone, hey, what's your resolutions? And they say one of those two things, you say, we got to talk. And we're coming out strong. We're not waiting to conference. So make sure, here's what I would tell you. Block off the 29th right now, that time. But then the challenge is, how many of your team can you have on with you? And if you're like, Mark, I don't have a team, then get one other person right now on that call with you and start your team that day. And if no matter what level you're at, you're on the phone saying, guys, I know maybe, we got to change this. 2020 was back there. We're going forward. Come with me. 29th, you're going to hear the game plan. And you can say, hey, you don't like it? Don't, but at least hear it today, because I think you're going to be ready and we're going to be about winning. So that would be what I end with tonight.
Yay! Well, thank you, Kinsey. You pray us out.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Oh, or Mark, you can pray us out too.
Oh, I said that's cool. I like it. Yeah. You picked the right one right there.
Thank you. We really appreciate you guys taking your time. Like, this is so special. So special. I'm going to listen to it like all day, every day, forever. Thank you.
Well, you got a special team. And we were just going through, I'm technology challenged. I can only run $1 billion company, but I can't. So Kenzie was running through it, let me see each of you guys there. And so it was really cool. I mean, you got, how many people are on this, Rachel?
93. It was at 100, but yeah.
That's amazing. So a few days before Christmas, your time's valuable, and you got on the call. So I'm applauding you guys because that's what it takes. You got to do something different. You got to step out of that comfort zone. And then I'm amazed this late at night that all of you could look so good. You're not having to wear a hat like I am. So well done. And
I see a Santa hat.
I like the Santa hat. Now that's just in season. So that's good right there. And so really, seriously, applaud you guys for being on the call. And we're going to lock arms and you know, we're not taking this no more. We're going to work together and make this 2021 just about winning. And I'm really, you're born to win. There's not a person on this call, no matter what you're thinking for you got on the call, or if it's been a tough week, I'm telling you right now, you're born to win and you're an overcomer. Whatever's, you say, Mark, you don't understand what I've had to go through. I don't, but there's a higher source that does. And he says, you're an overcomer. So we're going to do it together. All right, Kenzie.
Lord, I just thank you so much for this time that we could spend together. And I thank you for Zoom, God, that we could connect virtually, and just how important it is to get together. And I thank you for Rachel and Brian for connecting and leading with integrity. Lord, I pray for favor over each and every person on this Zoom right now, Lord. I just pray for those that have lost loved ones in 2020, Lord. I just pray for strength and a renewing as we walk into 2021, that you just give us a fresh perspective, that we can just trust you, Lord, with the circumstances around us, God, that we can move in the circumstances, that we can allow you to just breathe in that word winning, that there was such loss in 2020, but that we know that you say where two or more gathered, you are there. And here we are, all of us together, declaring your goodness over us in 2021, Lord, and just believing and connecting. And we just thank you, Lord. We thank you that you're a God that loves us and wants good things for his children. And so, Lord, we receive that you want to bless us. And I just pray blessings over this team. And thank you, Lord. And we just, we give to you our burdens as we walk into Christmas. And Lord, I just pray that this is a Christmas where it's all about you. You've stripped us back from things that don't matter in this world. It's been a year where we can actually really know that all that matters is you, Jesus. And so we give you this year, and we just look forward to next year, and we declare a year of winning. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And will you break the huddle for us?
All right. We love you guys. Merry Christmas.
She wants to end with the huddle.
Oh, good.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Hands in here, because it takes action. We're a part of a team, and we appreciate you guys. We want you to have a Merry Christmas, and enjoy your family. If you can't, we're your family. And we'll be back together on the 29th. So
next time you see us, we're going to blow your mind.
Yeah. Boom. It's going to be big. All right. Hey, Brian, way to show up. Thank you. All right. I'll text you later. All right. Here we go. You're probably watching opening NBA while I'm doing the call.
It's on.
Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. Good thing my Pistons start tomorrow night. All right, you guys. Thank you. We'll go It Works. No, we're going to go 2020 about winning, because this next year's, or 2021 is about winning, because that's what it's going to be. Are you guys ready? Here we go. 2021 is about winning. You're a winner.
About winning. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Thank you.